Have you ever wondered what's really holding you back from hitting your biggest goals? You know, that one thing that just keeps you stuck. Well, today, we're going to explore a really powerful idea. A metaphor, really, that might just have the answer you've been looking for. It's all about finding the buffalo in your life.
I mean, it's a question we all ask ourselves, isn't it? We've all got these big dreams, these huge ambitions. But for so many of us, something just seems to get in the way. So what is that something? The answer, believe it or not, might be hidden in a really strange little story.
So, our story starts with a wise old philosopher and his really eager student. And let me tell you, they're about to stumble upon a lesson so powerful, it's going to change the student's life forever. So picture this. They're traveling through this beautiful, fertile land. I mean, the potential is just everywhere. But then right in the middle of it all, they see this completely broken down house. It just doesn't make sense. And inside, they find a family living in total poverty. The philosopher is stumped. How can you be so poor when you're surrounded by such opportunity? Well, the head of the family explains it all. And it turns out their entire existence, their whole life, hangs by a single thread: one buffalo. This one animal gives them just enough milk to sell a little bit and drink the rest themselves. Look, it's not a great life, but it's a life. They're surviving, but they are absolutely not thriving. Okay, so the philosopher and his student stay the night. But then, in the dead of night, the philosopher wakes his student up with this absolutely shocking command. I mean, can you even imagine the student's horror? His teacher is telling him to destroy the one thing this poor family has. It seems cruel, totally senseless, but, he can't question his master. So he helps him push the buffalo right off a cliff. All right, now let's fast forward. 10 years go by. The student, he's now a success in his own right. But that one night has just been eating away at him, haunting him with guilt. He decides he has to go back. He needs to find that family and somehow, some way, make things right. He's expecting the worst, right? He probably thinks he'll find them in even worse shape, or maybe they're not even there anymore. But what he finds is, honestly, it's just mind-blowing. That old broken down shack, it's gone. In its place is a beautiful new home. The empty field is now this incredible, thriving fruit orchard. And that poor family, get this, they're now the biggest, most successful fruit merchants in the entire region. The student is just baffled. He can't wrap his head around it. How on earth did this happen? So he tracks down the farmer who tells him the whole story. He says, the very night you two left, the craziest thing happened. Our buffalo fell off the cliff and died. And then he says something that changes everything. That was the worst day of our lives, and it was also the best thing that ever could have happened to us. And that's the absolute key to this whole thing. The moment they lost their only source of security, they were forced to do something different. Their safety net was gone, so they had to get creative. They started selling wood, then they planted some crops, and before they knew it, they had built this amazing business. The potential was there all along, you see. It was just buried under the comfort of that one buffalo. So, what does this story from so long ago have to do with us, right here, right now? Well, because this isn't really a story about a family and a farm. It's a story about you. It's about the buffalo that's in your life. So what exactly is your buffalo? Well, it's that thing in your life that's fine. It's that decent job that you don't love, but hey, it pays the bills. It's that comfortable routine you're in. It's any situation that gives you just enough to get by, so you never feel that urgent push, that desperate need to go after something way, way bigger. Seriously, take a second and really think about it. What is that thing in your life that's keeping you tied down? What's that one thing that if it vanished tomorrow, yeah, it would be terrifying, but maybe, just maybe, it would also be the thing that finally sets you free to do something incredible. And hey, this isn't just some philosophical fairy tale, This exact same pattern plays out in the real world all the time. Let's take a look at some seriously successful people who basically did the same thing. They killed their own buffalo. Just look at this pattern. You've got a guy working at a petrol pump, another with a secure IT job, and another working for a shipping firm. Every single one of them had a buffalo, a safe, predictable career path. But they all made that scary, terrifying choice to walk away from it to chase a massive dream. And what happened? They didn't just find a little success, they built empires and became absolute legends. Okay, let's be super clear about something. This is not easy. Not at all. Walking away from a sure thing is one of the hardest things anyone can do. And honestly, it's not for everyone. This is for the people who have a dream that's so big, a desire that's so intense, that comfortable buffalo starts to feel less like a safety net and more like a cage. So, here we are, you've heard the story, you get the idea, and you've seen the proof in the real world. Now, the only question left is, what are you going to do about it? There is this one quote that just perfectly sums up this whole choice. Yeah, the fear of losing that comfort and security, it can be absolutely paralyzing. But when you really stop and weigh that against the massive potential of what you could achieve, of who you could become, suddenly that risk starts to look a whole lot smaller, doesn't it?
So at the end of the day, it really boils down to two paths, right? Path number one, you stay in your comfort zone, you keep your buffalo, you live a pretty ordinary life. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a valid choice. Or path number two, you step out, you listen to that voice in your heart, and you go all in on achieving your dreams.
So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought. That buffalo, your comfort zone, it's tied to you by a rope, and you're the only one holding the knife. You're the only one with the power to cut it. So the only real question left is, when are you going to?